Okay, so the conference title games all finished up this Saturday and Friday, and we got a little bit to talk about. Who's going to make the playoff? I don't know. Last year, it was really obvious. It was going to be Bama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. And everyone knew those are the four best teams. No one had an issue. This year, though, with what transpired, I don't know. Let's start with the two easiest. Games, which were Michigan, Purdue, and Georgia, LSU. Both of those had the top two teams, Michigan and Georgia, and they both took care of business pretty easily. Both were pretty much out in front the whole game. Michigan struggled a little bit with Purdue, but they pulled away in the second half. Georgia was all over LSU. Two easy games. Georgia will be 1 in the rankings. Michigan will most likely be 2. As for the conference championship in the American, basically to see who goes to the New Year's Six Bowl from the group of 5. Tulane beat UCF. Tulane was up big in that game. And UCF came roaring back and almost tied the thing. Then Tulane sealed the win. Good win for Tulane. Good for them. They're going to a New Year's Six Bowl, most likely. So, good job to the Green Wave. Honestly, I didn't even check to see who won the ACC title. I have no idea who won the ACC title, and to be honest, I really don't care. I did not even look. I have no idea if UNC beat Clemson or if Clemson beat UNC. I have no idea. I didn't even look. I'm such a great YouTuber. Anyway, now, the Big 12 and Pac-12. First one, number 4, USC taking on Utah. USC at number 4. If they win, they're going to get in. They did not win. They lost. And not only did they lose, they lost badly to Utah. 47-24, especially in that fourth quarter. Utah poured it on. You could tell who wanted it more. You could tell who the better team was. You could tell who the more conditioned team was. It was Utah. In every facet of the game, they were better. Offense, defense, everything. They completely outplayed Utah. Or they completely outplayed USC. USC, 11-2. Both those losses are to Utah. Of course, Utah beat them in the regular season. USC doesn't look like they're getting in the playoff. And lastly, the Big 12 title between TCU and Kansas. Back and forth game. Kansas held an 11-point lead in the waning moments of the game. But TCU goes down and scores. They got a field goal to make it 20-28. They went down, they score, they get the 2. Overtime, TCU gets stuffed on 4th and goal. And Kansas State kicks a field goal. So TCU's now 12-1. Now, the question becomes, who gets those last 2 playoff spots? I have no idea who gets those 2 playoff spots. For me, it's between 4 teams to get those last 2 spots. Ohio State, TCU, Alabama, and Tennessee. Who gets those last 2 spots out of those 4? Unfortunately, I think Ohio State gets one of them. They most definitely should not. They're not that great of a team. They've played 2 good teams. They barely beat Penn State. Good Penn State team. And then they got completely ran out of their own house by Michigan. But it looks like they will be getting one of those spots. Now, will they take TCU or Alabama? I don't know. If you asked me, I think they would take Alabama. Because, TCU, they're not talented enough and da-da-da-da-da. I think TCU is more worthy since, they actually made their conference title and they only have 1 loss compared to Bama's 2. But if you're like, who do you really think the better team is? I don't know. I think they will put Alabama in. But then the question is, what about Tennessee? Because Tennessee is the same record as Alabama and beat them. If you ask me, Tennessee's more worthy than Alabama because they beat them. But the fact that that Bama's ranked higher than Tennessee, Bama at 6, Tennessee at 7, I don't know. I don't know if Tennessee jumps them just because of that. But I mean, we would have to see. I think that the playoff will be Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama. I don't think they put TCU in. I don't think they put Tennessee in. That's just what I think, though. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the committee thinks. But we'll have to see how they evaluate this tomorrow. It's gonna be weird who they actually put in. But we'll see. We'll see.